seen you. You come from your Arab Emirates. What are you doing there? Yeah, okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, good morning. Hey. We are here to discuss a it's not flooded, but elsewhere the rain has been there and having a lot of usual problems of flooding, and we have to respond to it. So I wanted to clarify to you what the situation is so far, so that we are on the same level of information and what we are intending to do, and if you have some ideas what we need to do, that is welcome. Ladies and gentlemen of the fourth estate and the good people of Kisumu, let me welcome you to this briefing to bring you and the whole country up to date with the current flooding situation being experienced in Kisumu County. The current heavy rains pounding Kisumu and many other parts of the country has brought with it flooding in some of the flood hotspots in the county, causing displacements and damage to properties and economic livelihoods. The number of affected households now rendered vulnerable stand at 725 households, and we expect the number to rise if the rains continue at this rate. The most affected areas being Kolwa Central, Kolwa East, and Kajulu wards in Kisumu East. Other areas are Nyalenda B in Kisumu Central, Ombei ward in Moroni Sub-County, Southwest and Central Kisumu wards in Kisumu West, and parts of the newly gazetted Kadibu Sub-County. After this press conference, I'm going to visit Ombei ward with my colleagues and see what is happening on the ground while opening some road maintenance work there. In Nyalenda B, 90 households have been affected, with 46 households displaced from their homes. They have, however, been integrated within the community. In Moroni Sub-County, 10 houses were destroyed, with a total of 100 households affected in Ombei ward. In Kisumu West, 30 houses were destroyed and a total of 150 households affected in Southwest and Central Kisumu wards. Ladies and gentlemen, one displaced household is one too many, and my heart goes out to the suffering on the affected families exposed to this disaster. However, I'm encouraged by the mitigating measures my government is putting in place to respond to such possible occurrences, and I'm also grateful to our partners who have joined us in undertaking these mitigation measures. These measures, such as opening waterways and distilling of rivers in the flood hotspots before the onset of the rains, have contributed to the depressed numbers that we are reporting today. But we are not out of the woods yet. It is still too early, as heavy rains are expected to continue the month of May and probably beyond. And so we should tighten our belts and begin being ready to respond to this impending near catastrophe. I want to laud the Meteorological Department for increasing the number of weather stations in the county from 2 to 7. These stations have contributed to better and more accurate weather updates, despite the uncertain weather patterns caused by such climate change. My government has also invested in one weather station at East Kano Wabidi and other early warning gadgets that inform the rising level of water in rivers Nyando and rivers Miriu. Some of the response measures that we have undertaken are the following. As a response measure to the current floods, my government has activated continuous assessment by the sub-county and ward disaster committees under the guidance of the multi-sectoral county disaster committees. This multi-agency county disaster committee, chaired by the executive member for public service, brings together stakeholders in disaster response from county government administration structures, the Red Cross, UNICEF, SWAP, World Vision, Kisumu Business Community, and the National Government Administration officers, among other agencies. Now, the county government public service minister is here, Judith Oluwachi. If you don't know her from today. She's now the woman of the moment, staring this in the face as a chair of the Disaster Management Committee at the county level. The assessment carried out by these committees are critical in informing our coordinated response mechanisms. Today, my government will be flagging off food and non-food items worth about 5 million shillings to be distributed in the aforementioned affected areas to support a total of 1,200 households for about 2 weeks. These include food items such as maize flour, wheat flour, cooking oil, baby porridge, rice, milk, maize, and beans. The non-food items include blankets, bar soap, children gumboots. This is very important to prevent exposing our young ones to infections such as bilharzia, solar lamps, and sanitary towels. The Red Cross, on the other hand, has mobilized family relief kits comprising cooking pans, blankets, mosquito nets, water jerrycans, plates, and other cutlery, as well as evacuation tents. Our partner, Care Kenya, has mobilized 22,000 sachets of water purifiers for distribution. It is important that we watch out for and mitigate against possible health challenges arising from sanitation-related concerns. UNICEF, on the other hand, working with our public health department, will distribute 1,000 pieces of 20-liter jerrycans, 1,000 pieces of 10-liter buckets, 30 cartons of hand-washing soap, and 90 kilograms of calcium hypochlorite. These figures are likely to go up if the flood continues to affect many more households in the aforementioned areas and some others which are prone to flooding. In anticipation of an aggravated situation, we have mapped out and activated all our designated and gazetted evacuation centers in the affected areas. These evacuation centers are Ombaka, Obiayo, Kangonda, and Kanyango, as well as some designated churches. We have also trained locals as champions in data collection, rescue, and evacuation of displaced persons. As we continue with the response measures, I want to appeal to other stakeholders and our people of goodwill to join us in this journey in ensuring that our kith and kin are cushioned from these ravages of nature. In conclusion, therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take this opportunity to thank most sincerely our partners in the County Disaster Committee for the good job they have done and continue to do to support this noble cause. I also want to thank you, members of the Fourth Estate, for being ready to educate our people with facts about the disaster we are facing in this county at the moment, and encourage our people that together we shall overcome. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will have a session of a few questions to the governor. So you just raise your hand, tell us which media house you represent.
Before I answer your question, I would also like to really come forth and help us in this effort. It is, from my experience in the past, you can never tell exactly how much we will need. Our fate relies entirely on the heavens, which bring our rain down here to terrorize us sometimes.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Kisumu was just coming out of a cholera outbreak that was declared a few weeks ago. Perhaps in the
centers and medical personnel here. That I told you the Department of Public Health is in the committee.
Yes.
And is heavily represented in managing disaster, because really health is at the center of all this. Yeah, you're right. We are very conscious of the fact that cholera broke out, and the department responded very promptly. But to add insult to injury, then the rains come and make things worse. Not only cholera, but we also fear bilharzia. So we have to take measures to mitigate against both cholera and bilharzia. We are doing it. You know, assessment of farms is much more difficult. That's why I'm going there personally. Not that I'm a good assessor, but I want to see for myself seeing is believing. Yeah. Ombei ili tufanye kazi pamoja kuokoa watu wetu. Asante.
The flag off the foodstuffs.
Oh yes, we are going out there to flag off the foodstuffs going to the flood-affected areas.
Yeah.
In front of the.
Yeah.
Okay, come over. We are just flagging on some foodstuffs.
Yeah.
Good.
The food and non-food items that are proceeding to the fields. This has been organized by the Special Programs Department and was coordinated with who did the assessment and was able to identify the actual number of affected community members are still coming, are actually going to about 6 wards. We have Kolua East, we have Kolua Central, we have Southwest Kisumu, we have Kabonyo Kanyagwao, and the other one, let me just look at.
We are now flagging off help to affected areas in the flooding zone. Asante sana. Let us all join hands and help our people at this time of need.
Waziri tio mabaya. Nini gavana?
Need